Reading for June 3rd, Science of Mind, A Philosophy of Faith, A Way of Life by Ernest Holmes. Reading from page 216, paragraph 5, through page 219, paragraph 1, using inclusive language. Suggestions for treatment. In giving mental and spiritual treatments, it is better not to dwell too much on the negative, since we are liable to give it undue importance. To affirm the presence of absolute reality is better than to deny the presence of evil. However, if the presence of evil persists in making its appearance, it is sometimes well to deny it, to know that it is neither person, place, nor thing, that it does not belong to us, that it cannot operate through or around us. It is neither cause, medium, nor effect. It is neither imagination, idea, nor reflection. It is neither visible nor invisible. It cannot emanate from absolute consciousness and does not emanate from people. The devil is a myth, and heaven is lost merely for the lack of an idea of harmony. Stand still and watch the sure salvation of the One. This One is always an indwelling presence, the individual I, which is an incarnation of the universal I Am. A practitioner should think of their patient as a perfect entity, living in a perfect universe, surrounded by perfect situations and governed by perfect law. The entire universe is devoted to their good. All the source hath is thine. Arise, O child, and take. This taking is better accomplished through an affirmative attitude of mind than a dwelling too much on the negative. Behold, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. But the kingdom must be recognized. The recognition is a mental act. We must know that the all-powerful Spirit is ever available and ever equal to the healing of any discordant condition of the body, mind, or affairs. But we must never look outside of ourselves to find this Spirit, since it is indwelling. What we really do is to look within our own consciousness and pray to the absolute consciousness who is in secret, and the absolute consciousness who seeth in secret shall reward us openly. The sincere practitioner will be sure that their own thought is clear, that their own faith is equal to the demands made upon it. Above all else, they must be careful not to be caught in the negative stream of consciousness. Jesus could not have raised Lazarus from among those who were believed to be dead if he had been afraid to roll away the stone, nor if he had listened to the wailing of those about him. To be spiritually minded is to enter that tranquil atmosphere of pure thought, that heavenly consciousness, which is the secret place of the Most High in people. In beginning a series of treatment for any person, we start with the idea of a perfect God, perfect person, and perfect being. In every case, it is well to begin with the removal of doubt and fear, to assure ourselves that the one whom we are seeking to help is complete and perfect, harmonious and whole. Next, we must conform our arguments, statements, and realizations so that they may measure up to this high ideal. It is easy to believe that Source is perfect. We must also believe that the spiritual person is perfect. And since it is difficult to believe that the objective person is perfect, we must confine our statements to a realization of the spiritual perfection of people. In such degree as our realization becomes a subjective embodiment, the objective healing will automatically take place. We know that background of human thought is, to a great extent, one of negation, a denial of an harmonious and spiritual universe Consequently, our outlook on life must be transformed by the renewing of the mind, and even when the results are not immediately forthcoming, we must still maintain a calm serenity of thought. We must relight the torch of our imagination by fire caught from heaven. We must remain faithful to this vision, for a realization of the presence of God is the secret power of our work. The following examples are not to be considered dogmatic. They are merely suggested ways by which one may do effective work. The practitioner must realize that all power is given unto them. They must believe that person is spiritual, and they must be certain that their statements about the spiritual person will find a corresponding outlet in the physical person. However, they are very careful never to treat the physical person, but to think of the person's entire being as spiritual. And if the person's entire being is spiritual, then their physical being must reflect spiritual ideas. The practitioner supplies these spiritual ideas and lets the law of mind do the rest. To begin the treatment by a silent assurance that people, being spiritual, are exempt from negation is a correct starting point. Infinite love harmonizes the person's entire being. The healing currents of life flow through them, taking away every negative thought and manifestation and adjusting their whole physical being to the idea of divine harmony.